general election. And now we head over to the National Weather Service, where Landon Aydlett is standing by with your work week weather forecast. Good morning, Landon. How are you?
Good morning to you both. How are you all doing? I'm doing well.
Rested up from the 3-day weekend, kind of, sort of.
Nice Christmas lights.
Let me see.
Yeah, I celebrate with the Filipinos over here. It's the Burr month, so we're full-blown Christmas starting in my office. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
let's
festive.
move right on to 2021.
Right on. Just for those of you who don't know, in the Philippines, they start celebrating Christmas during the months that end with Burr. Like, because in wintertime, you're like, Burr, it's cold. So September, like, if you could go to PI now, because we used to go there to do fights. I mean, I remember the first time we went in September, I was like, whoa, what the heck? It's like reverse Chamorro Standard Time.
I like it over in the Philippines. I try to get there every November or December, but of course, I don't know if I'll be able to travel this year. And I didn't make it over to the Philippines last year, but hopefully next year. We'll see.
Right, right. So what are we looking at this week in Landon? I'm hoping that you're going to say this beautiful weather is going to continue.
Well, the beautiful weather will continue with the asterisk. We're going to see some spotty stuff in the afternoon. That's the theme we've had for the last several weeks, the island afternoon convection. But let me start with this. If you're not familiar with what we're looking at, this is our Ritidian buoy data. And so this purple or pink line, that shows the forecast wave heights in the coming days, and the green is what was observed. So we've seen a pretty good surf from the west and the northwest over the last several days. And that was from typhoons Maysak and then Haishan, which is now well over North Korea. So we're having that residual swell, and that's going to be all going downhill from here. So we've had a lot of great surf off of the Ganyabo Basin and other west and north facing reefs. Since then, our high surf advisories have been dropped, discontinued, as the high risk of rip currents has become moderate. So improving sea conditions for the weaker swimmers, but not so much for the surfers that like those nice clean swells. So we're going to come over here to the satellite picture, and there's really not much to see out there. So it's a beautiful starry morning this morning coming into the office. A lot of stars, very few clouds, and that's going to be the trend through the morning. Of course, we have those light winds. And so again, with the light winds over the islands, we're going to see that potential for isolated island convection in the afternoons. We're not looking at too much convection at this point with the drier air upstream of us. So that's the good news. We have this blob over here. That's kind of a surface trough moving off towards our west, and that's going to keep well in the Philippine Sea. That's no threat for us. Later this week, we're going to see a little bit more moisture coming up across our region. So that's going to give us a little bit more potential for scattered showers in the afternoon, isolated thunderstorms. That's going to be the theme through the week with the lighter winds, variable at times. So not much action over there. I'm going to throw up some model-derived streamlines. So this basically shows the wind flow over the region. So we have a surface trough coming over us, and that's right over there. That's going to slide off to the west, and then the drier, more favorable weather for us in the short term. This weekend, we could see a little bit more of this stuff move over towards the Mariana Islands, give us a little bit more moisture in the atmosphere, and then a better chance for showers. So really not a bad week this week. We're going to hop over to the Joint Typhoon Warning Center page. And again, the only thing we're watching the whole region is the remnants of Tropical Storm Haishan. That's now moved well over the Korean Peninsula and is falling apart quickly. Otherwise, there's nothing to be seen as far as organized weather activity in the whole Western Pacific. So that's the good news for us. It is now September 8th, and still we are tropical cyclone free in the Marianas, as well as all of Micronesia from Palau to the Marshall Islands. And that's the good news for us. So looking ahead this week, it's not going to be bad, but watch out for those isolated afternoon showers and thunderstorms.
Hey, Landon, this is Jason real quick. Like, as a fellow geek, right, I'm loving, like, all the data and the charts and, like, just the variety of ways that you can visualize, like, the weather patterns and everything. And I've been here at, Camp Happy here for long enough to remember when this kind of information was only available to those of you who are, like, actually in the industry, and then interpreting it was, something you would have to have, like, an advanced degree like yourself in, geology or, like, meteorology or stuff like that. And then it became this type of information was available if you would subscribe to it, but it was very, very expensive. And now, there's so much available on the internet that anybody can pull this down. So I'm pun definitely intended, but for the fair weather fan of this type of information, right? What's the most important thing that they should be looking for when they look at a lot of these charts? Because the problem now is you've got so many charts and everything, people can psych themselves out or they won't really know what they're looking at. So if you can give us maybe a 101 level of how to interpret these charts.
Well, contact us. If you have any confusion about what you're looking at as far as the satellites, the radar, the model data, contact us. We're always here to help people here in the region. We want to be accessible to everybody.
Nice.
Also, check out our Facebook page. You can message us on Facebook anytime. Either myself or one of us other younger guys will respond to you. But you hit on the point. A lot of this stuff is available to people on the internet. And so every tropical cyclone season, when things start spinning up, people see these models on the internet or other Facebook pages that are mandated or directed by weather junkies, but not actual meteorologists.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be first to say, oh, this is going to happen in 10 days. And it shows a typhoon sitting on top of Guam 10 days from now. But what they don't know is that is a model forecast. That's not reality. That's just a forecast based on the information at that point.
Right.
6 hours later, when the next model comes through, that typhoon may not exist in the model data. And so we tell people, wait till you get the official word from the Weather Service, the weather agencies, because we're tasked with warning the public on what's going to be developing. And we wait till we see credible information and not just the models, but also the satellite.
Right.
So apps like windy.com and stuff, they're great visuals that people can have access to the model data. But remember, that's a model forecast.
Oh, we use Windy here all the time. When Windy came out, Sabrina and I were like, oh man, we have to get that.
So basically, Landon, long story short, Facebook doesn't give out meteorology degrees, is what you're saying?
Right now, they're doing medical degrees.
Right.
But when in doubt, reach out to us.
Okay. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Jay? You good? All right. So basically, leave it to the professionals. Don't be weather guessing. And, if Nana wants to say that, oh, it's going to rain because my gout on the left knee, the toe is twitching, then that's fine. But because that's folk meteorology.
There is
Yeah,
some
I
truth
do
to
that,
Let's
dude.
go. He's gonna break it down. This is
When
actually
my
Your
knees
dog get
hurt
nervous.
really bad, then I know, oh man, it's gonna rain.
What about when your dog gets
Really
nervous?
hard.
yeah. When your dogging hurts, that sounds like
No,
a
not your
personal
dogging,
problem.
your dog.
Jay. Landon. So explain the science behind that, because there is actual science behind that.
They say animals can sense things better than people. And I actually read an article on Facebook, of course, in the last couple of days. And there was a study done on some birds in Delaware. And they're looking at the migratory pattern, I think, over the last 20 years. And they say that when they can see this certain migration occurring with this one bird species, it can predict a cyclone or a hurricane season in the Atlantic. And they actually say there's some credibility to it. So I need to look more into that.
Right.
But they say these senses of animals can outdo humans anytime.
Right.
And it's just a matter of correlating those attitudes and behaviors of the animals and what does it mean.
I don't know what all that meant, but if Nana said it was going to rain, I usually believed her. Because it's something with the cold pressure and the low pressure that's pushing down on the joints of the elderly. And then also I had washed my car at the time, so that just ups it. Right? Okay, thanks. So can you
the
say
car wash will do it.
that one, that right there. There's there's a lot of science behind that. Right, there have been papers published on it. Thanks, Landon.
Hey, y'all have a great day.
He's like, I'm done. I got Christmas decorations to put up. See you, my man. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Be safe. Stay dry. Wash your hands.
See y'all.
There you go. All right. 6:40. Landon Aydlett of the National Weather Service. That's a regular thing. So we start the week. We're looking at the weather and what it's going to be like. And wow, it looks beautiful. But stay home, okay? At 6:40, we'll take a short break and come back with more of The Link on the Breeze 93.9. Good morning.